chocolate's so good. Oh, hey there. All right. Tasty. Okay, as per request from True Lolita, I decided to make a video blog on how to make chainmail. So I'm going to start with showing you the items and materials that you need in building it, how to do so, and get you started up on making your own little projects. So, items. Okay, so the items that you'll need is a mandrel, bolt cutters, pair of pliers, material, and a bin to put all your rings into. Now, as for the mandrel I made out of 3 pieces of wood, as you can see. 2 equal in height pieces of wood to whatever length you kind of wish to have. And the rod itself is a 10mm in diameter rod that I got from Canadian Tire. You're going to have to find one in your own equivalent hardware store. I picked up. I hammered the rod into a crank so that I could crank out the rings instead of manually winding them around the rod, which makes things easier. In the rod, I made a little hole with the drill. So you may want to grind on the rod a little bit so that you got a flat surface to drill the hole. You drill the hole in equal spots on either side of the 2 equal pieces of wood. On the other side, I just use some channel locks to keep it in place when I spin it. Now, the best thing about this is you can also, if you want, grind the other end of it to flat surfaces so that you can attach a drill onto it, and you can spin the wire out instead of manually cranking it, and it'll be much faster. But you have to be careful not to go too fast, or the coil will, well, not wrap properly. Now, as for the pliers, I just got these from the dollar store near me, but I like these ones here. They're wide nosed, and I took a grinder, or you can use a file. Same for that, you can use a file instead of a grinder, but I just use a grinder because it's quicker and easier for me. And I grinded the teeth down. The reason for this is so that it doesn't scuff up or mark your rings so much when you're trying to weave them. The bolt cutters, they're miniature, I think they're called 8-inch bolt cutters that you can get from, your local hardware store. You don't want to use side snips. I've tried using those to cut my rings, and it has not come out as I desired. As for the material, the wire, I got this at a store called Princess Auto. You might have to find a Home Depot or whatever, but this was by far the cheapest I got. It's a spool of 1/4 mile 16 gauge galvanized steel wire, which is ideal for making chainmail shirts and such. The galvanizing has a protective, I think it's zinc coating over top of the wire, so it prevents it from rusting. Now, this is preventing, it's not 100%. The coating can, rub off or be marked up or whatnot, and over time your rings will dull in color, get darker. But it's the cheapest that you can get. I mean, the next step up would be stainless steel, which is ideal but more expensive. This cost me little more than $38 Canadian. You know, I just kept this on here so that it can, you know, unwrap easily. I mean, I could make a smaller little mandrel for it to unspool itself. Anyway, besides the point. So I'm going to show you next how I make the wire into coils. Okay, I take the wire from the spool, which I have sitting below my bed right now. Your workplace probably will differ. And I thread it through the hole here and give it a few cranks. Try to keep the wire bound closely together, but make sure it doesn't overlap each other. Now I have it started, which you'll see here. There we go. I mean, you can do this by hand if you wish. You can speed it up a little bit. And you'll make a coil all along the length of the rod. And I'll show you what happens when you attach the drill to it. Now, you don't need a super powerful drill, just a small finishing drill will be good. The powerful ones like hammer drills and whatnot will be too much power and will just send this thing flying, and you don't want that. You probably want a better workspace to do this on, something where you can clamp this down on a table or something like that. I just throw my leg on top of it, keep the weight down on it, you know, because the handle tends to, you know, make this thing fly. So I attach the drill on the one end of the mandrel. And there it goes. In a matter of no time, I've now got a full rod of coil. And you take your bolt cutters, snip off the end, take the drill off the end or the channel locks if you're using the hand crank, and where you have the wire threaded into the rod, you simply push the coil a little bit so that you can get your cutters in there and snip it. It'll come off. You just pull the rod off now, and the coil will just slide off. Replace the drill on the end or the channel locks, and you're ready to go again. Now you have a coil of wire ready for snipping. Alright, now that you have your coil, what you want to do is you want to snip off the excess. There you go. And to clip, now with the mini bolt cutters I can clip 5 at a time. You get very close to the end of where the wire stops with the cutters and start clipping up in a straight line. 2, 3, 4, 5. And drop. Okay. And as you can see here, I now have 5 snipped rings ready to be woven. And you just drop this into your bin for later use. And you can just keep snipping away at the coil. Like I said, the bolt cutters are much better to use with snipping the wire. It's for ease of use, and it doesn't cramp up your hands too much. I mean, using side cutters or aviator snips does not work as well. You have to strain very much to clip the gauge wire.